Oh, good afternoon. Good. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. I am just left a meeting with legislative leaders here, the county freeholders, county engineer, and other county officials. Obviously, we have a significant issue here in Cape May County, which is why I came down here today. We have already done some things to try to assist. Department of Transportation has diverted equipment here to Cape May County from other parts of the state to try to make sure we clear secondary roads. I met up in Atlantic County earlier with the regional president of Atlantic City Electric. There's still over 50,000 here in Cape May County without power. I told him that I thought that we needed to get on that sooner rather than later. We have provided assistance to them to do that, but I still think it's probably another day or two prospect before all the barrier islands have all of their power restored. But I'm going to stay on that on every 3 or 4 hour basis and communicating from my office to Atlantic City Electric. I want to commend the emergency management folks here in Cape May County. They've been preparing for this all week. They've done an extraordinary job. The shelters, the 10 shelters that have been set up around the county for folks to keep them warm, keep them fed. I want to say to anybody, who's got family or relatives in those shelters, they're being taken care of well. If you can come and help and get them someplace warm with their family members, that would probably be preferable. I was at the Middle Township Middle School, where there's a shelter right now. Visited with a number of the folks who are there, predominantly senior citizens. They're happy to have the place there. They were definitely scared, given the intensity of the storm, but they are being cared for there by emergency management officials and Red Cross. I want to commend the police and fire who got them out of their homes and got them to the shelters. It's extraordinarily important. I think there are always things that we can learn from these storms and other natural emergencies to be able to do things better, but I think overall things have gone fairly well. It's a lot of snow down here, over 2 feet of snow here on the backs of what happened here in December. Is a pretty extraordinary hit for this region to take. I've told all the officials that I met with today that I think by Tuesday, Wednesday this week, we'll be in a position to make a judgment about declaring a state of emergency and making the applications necessary to the federal government for reimbursement of county and local governments for the expenses that they've had to incur and for the damage that we'll be able to assess over the next couple of days that may have occurred to the region as well. So we will be on top of that. Colonel Fuentes, the Office of Emergency Management and the State Police, will be working with local officials as they have been to get that done. So I want to commend the legislators, Senator Van Drew and the Assemblyman, to make sure that they've been communicating with my office and my office with them to make sure that citizens here who have been contacting their offices to try to get assistance have been able to get answers on where to go and what help is available to them. And so this is one of those situations where we're challenged as a state. We have to work hard, work together to make sure that we keep people safe, first and foremost. That's our number one task as a government, is to protect the safety of our citizens. In this kind of storm, with this kind of cold weather, we need to make sure we get people who do not have electricity to shelters so that they can stay warm, not stay in your home. Obviously, if you've lost your power, you can't hear me anyway, but those folks should not be staying in their homes. So if you have relatives here who you haven't heard from, please go to their homes. The roads are passable now. Go to their homes and make sure you check on them. Make sure that if they're not in a shelter, you get them to your own home or to a shelter so they can stay warm. The good news from this storm is that we haven't had no fatalities so far. Over 250 motor vehicle accidents, but no fatalities and no serious injuries. And so I want to commend the DOT commissioner as well. He has really worked hard to make sure that the roads here are safe and passable for those who needed to travel. So I wish I were here in Cape May County under different circumstances, but it's always good to be here. And I want the citizens of the county to know that state government is engaged. Your legislators and your executive branch are engaged in making sure that the resources of the state, and then hopefully later this week the federal government, are engaged to help the people of Cape May County. Questions?
Governor, what is it that you need to know to make the decision whether to ask for the declaration? And would you hope to be able to make that decision prior to Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday?
Well, what we need to do is there are certain standards that FEMA has regarding the percentage of 90% or greater of the highest snowfall on record in the area in order to make a declaration. From what we've seen preliminarily, we think we're there. In addition, there has to be a minimum of a $10.6 million threshold of reimbursable costs for the state. I don't think we're going to have any problem getting there either. And so it's just a matter of making sure we do it the right way, though. We do not want to do it in a haphazard way where we make an application that does not have all the information, it doesn't include all the costs. So we want to make sure that we get our governments on the local and county level reimbursed as quickly and as completely as we possibly can from the federal government. So those are the things we're considering, but I can assure you that the Colonel and the Office of Emergency Management are working hard to make sure we get it done as quickly as we can. Other questions? All right, good. Thank you all for coming very much.
Thanks.
You must have done good.
Thanks.
To
Come to Trenton and get one in person. Good, all right, please, after you get all this stuff straightened out, go on a visit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for what you're doing in Middle Township. I've got the shelter at the middle school, and we appreciate what you're doing.
We're doing hopefully more. We have more to do, so thanks a lot.
No, listen, I'm happy to be here.
I'm Ed Manning, the mayor of Patriots. Thank you very much for bringing up this extra plow. It really helped.
Good, listen, we're happy to be able to help. The Freeholder Director communicated that to me yesterday afternoon right down here as quickly as we can. Right. So good. I'm glad it helped.
Your help with the electric is
I'll be on it every 3 hours. All right? Got it. How are you, sir?
You want to talk to Mike right now? I'll try to look for what I'm ready to start looking at. And whenever I get like, I try to